if you have Amazon Prime and you also use Twitch, you probably have gotten some games for free essentially because again, there's Twitch games that you get for free. The thing is, they have like two different like angles, which you can get like an Epic Games. Is it Epic? I think it's Epic. I don't fucking remember. I think it's Epic. Or you can get a GOG game for free, which you get more games for that. Or you get a Twitch kind of like app game for free, which I don't really use the Twitch app remotely. I'd rather just use the website. Mainly because on the app, you can only really watch one person. On the website, you can watch as many people as possible. But for the actual like website, GOG gives you a fuck ton of games to kind of play with. Like I think you get 3 to 4 games a month. So because of that, you get a lot. I have 45 games. I think I've only bought one game from GOG, which was the Cyberpunk game. And that's really it. It's the only game I bought from GOG. That's the only reason I have GOG is because of Cyberpunk 2077. And also, the only reason I have Amazon Prime is because of my phone subscription plan. Like, that's really the only reason I haven't paid for it in a very long time. Because I don't really use it anyway. Like, I don't order from Amazon remotely unless I actually have to order from Amazon because the item I want isn't something I can get anywhere else. But other than that, no, I don't order from Amazon. Like, it's whatever. So, truthfully, the only thing I really get is games. As you can see, I have a lot of games to play if I wanted to. I have all the Mafias. This is not an ad for GOG, by the way. This is just, I had it in the background because I didn't really want to have Steam since I'm not really doing a game video. But there's a few games I would actually play. I played Coromon already. You already know I played Cyberpunk 2077. I played all the Bioshocks, so I don't really need to play that. I don't even know what Berserk Boy is. It looks more like Mega Man, I guess. It does look like a Mega Man. I have the Legacy of Kain games on my wishlist on Steam. So if I already have it on here, I'll probably just play it on GOG. Besides that, I also have Oblivion on here, which is the only reason I actually downloaded the GOG app was because I saw Oblivion. I was like, oh shit, I have Oblivion? Like, I have fucking Oblivion? Why am I looking down? I have Oblivion? That's wild. But besides that, it's kind of just like interesting. I was playing Other Worlds. We tried Neverwinter Nights. I couldn't go far because of the fact that I messed up my build. So I made a sorcerer. The sorcerer kind of sucked. So I decided, and because of the fact that I wasn't really using magic, because magic runs very much easily out, and also I was going recommended because I was just like, maybe the recommended stuff would be better. It wasn't. It wasn't at all. It's a lot of stuff that's like helps with surrounding based stuff, but it doesn't help in combat. So it kind of sucked, and it gave you like a summon to help you basically tank. But otherwise, you're basically just using a ranged attack the whole time, which is not ideal. So I went to respect, and there was no way to respect. So I was like, oh, cool, I'm getting this game. And I went to another game that was deeper down the line in my backlog, or deeper down the line when it comes to the games on my Steam Deck. My Steam Deck? No. My Steam profile. It's my Steam games library. There you go. But yeah, I was just showcasing all these games. We're actually going to continue to the video right now, so let's start the video. After editing for what felt like forever, I finally had time to sit down and write the script. I will not be dedicating this video to a game because I don't have time to actually write a good script. I have about 1.5 days to try and churn out a script. So this video will just be a life update because, like I said, no real time. I forgot to say this. My dumbass. So again, I've been applying to jobs, which is going to be explained in the video, right? I didn't realize that I've been putting because again, all my stuff is basically based on file base. So like file name and stuff, and I have my name, which usually if I see my name in like my documents, I know it's probably my resume. So because it's been tax season, like I decided, okay, cool. I saw my name, I was like, alright, cool, this should be my resume. So I sent it in. I was a dumbass because it wasn't my resume; it was my W two. So I sent, I think, 2 employers or like 1 employer or whatever, my W two instead of my fucking resume, and I had to look at myself like I'm the dumbest motherfucker alive. So I also think I sent my W two to like this job that I probably would have gotten if I didn't fucking wasn't a dumbass. But yeah, I looked. I was like, wait, because I was looking. I think I was about to send my resume to someplace, and I was looking. I was like, wait, because I was about to press it, and I read it, and it was like W two. I was like, oh, wait a second. Because it's like the thing is, my resume is like on the last list because it again I haven't like really updated my resume in years, so of course it's gonna be the last list of documents in my phone, which I just upgraded it. So why are they always hiring fucking musicians? Hire me. So I was just like always this place that always like hires like for touring, but I've never seen them hire like actual like what do you call it technicians. And I'm just like hire me, motherfucker. Or it was radio and technician? That's a lie. Alright, where was I? Why are my lips so dry, so dry, so dry? Cause you're not there to moisturize them. Why are my lips so dry? Cause you're not here to moisturize them. So work-wise, I don't really think that much has changed since the last time I did a lifestyle update. Well, I kind of hope that things change when the video actually comes out. So, I haven't gotten work in a bit, but was saved because of my tax return. I also didn't get the summer stock that I applied for, but I'm happy I didn't get it. So the main reason I didn't get it is because I applied to a position that I have no experience in. I applied for wardrobe mainly because I want more experience in it. So the main reason I applied, even though I may not get it, is because of the pay. So for the summer stock, the pay was $400 a week, which is really low for me. I thankfully can make that in a day. But right now I'm not getting paid. So truthfully, it would have been better than nothing. I realized I should have applied for the department I'm actually specialized in. But I realized way too late. I haven't even seen much when it comes to tours on the website I look at for jobs. I think I may have applied to about 3 other jobs since then, but I haven't heard back from any of them. Then again, I don't really expect to be the person on top of any company's list of new hires. I have experience, but truthfully, that is all I have since I don't have a degree in what I do. Now, why haven't I worked a tour in a while, even though my friends are all booked and busy? So, for the most part, you would usually get hired by the same people that hired you for another tour you worked. So, my first tour, I found it randomly because of work email. The funny thing is, that was from a place that I haven't even remotely worked for once. The main reason I haven't worked with that company because most of the calls they do are last minute. I deplore last minute calls, and I will ignore them even from the current company I am with. Mainly because a lot of last minute calls I get are usually for that day, so they're expected to just leave and immediately get there. I never understood that mentality, so I won't even respond. Oh, back to the topic at hand. So yeah, that first hiring experience still bothers me because I had planned to take my driving test. I had to cancel it because I left the day before. I realized that I could have just flown in the day after and still would have been fine. But you live and you learn. So after I finished that tour, I was immediately sent back on tour, about like 2 weeks later. So I was only really home for a week before I was back on the plane. I left that tour, and the lead I left the tour with got me another tour, was paid more, but was a lot shorter. Now I'd love to say that was the end to my touring experience. That would be a lie. I got another tour, paid a lot less, which I regret taking to this day. The head cart wasn't someone I would ever want to work for again. Besides that, it was just a bad experience, so I left early. I say left it early, because I left it, but there were talks of having me fired, so I'm bad at spot hopping. Like the smart individual I am, I left before that could happen. So fast forward a few months after that show closes, I see that my friend got a new tour. I see that most of the people on the tour I left were on that tour. Then I realized, if I didn't leave that tour, I would have had more work thrown my way. I guess the bright side is now that I beat Velguard, uploaded the video, I can take all the gigs that come my way. But yeah, the sad thing is that a lot of the times companies will hire the people that work on the previous tour they put on. Which is smart, since you don't really have to put up ads for a position, and even if you do, you don't have to hire a whole bunch of new people. It's just a lot easier on payroll. I believe my friend was one of the new hires. I don't believe she worked with them previously. The sad thing is, I am looking every day to see if there is new job listings that I can actually apply for. Sadly, I will go months to being able to apply for one gig. That is just sadly my life at this point. But we do. Okay, I'm just gonna add this in. Again, no script. We're doing a lot today. So there's like 2 ways to leave. Like you either finish the tour or you leave the tour. Truthfully, that's really the only way. Like there's again, you either leave a tour because you resign because you don't really just quit. You resign. You have to send in a resignation note when you're actually leaving the tour. Like it's just fancy fucking thing. Because when it comes to touring, you're kind of expected to do a lot. The reason why I say you're expected to do a lot is because unlike most jobs where you can like call in for somebody to like take your shifts, you can't really do that on tour. But unless you have a swing, who is a person who goes in and kind of fills in a position if somebody's missing, basically if they're sick or they have a predetermined like holiday they're taking, because you can do that, but you have to again do it. You have to tell them beforehand, because again, it's very like unless you're dying, you can't really take it. Like you have to actually be dying or like fully like okay, cool. You're gonna contaminate this place if you're fucking here. That's really the only thing. That's really bad thing about touring. Like you aren't really supposed to be sick or getting hurt. Like you have to like do your job, because if you don't do it, that means other people have to fucking pick up your slack, and it's really shit. But yeah, like I resigned. Like I said, I resigned because I didn't want to do it. So I had to wait till we had a layover period, which a layover period is essentially you have like basically a break. So I think we had like a 2 week break. So as soon as I landed, because I'm a smart individual, I waited till we actually landed, made sure the fucking plane ticket was there, fucking sent in my whatever, went home and was like, hey, I'm resigning. I like sent in a resignation letter. Because again, I wasn't trying to stay. They took it well, but again, I haven't gotten calls from them again. I resigned. They most likely found a person that would work with kind of how their situation shit. But I'm very much I'm not gonna take your shit when it comes to kind of working because again, like if I'm not gonna try to fucking, I'm not gonna get stressed out because you're dealing with your own fucking demons. Like I'm not doing that shit. Like it was very much just an ego fucking check from the head carp. That's the main reason I'm not writing a script because I don't want to be documented. But it was an ego check, right? Because again, I'm not a good spot up. I've never said I was good. I even said it in the interview. I was like, I'm not good at this. Like I didn't even do it on tour. I told them this, and they still fucking hired me. So I was like, and I told my head carp that. And he was like, well, somebody should be fired because they did. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, yeah, like you probably have like, I heard you do well, like when it comes to stuff, but you don't do the things that you need to do during like when it comes to kind of like show performance essentially, which is spot hopping. Because I'm not good at spot hopping. I'm not good. Like it's a very laborious fucking process. And he's like butchering me too. He's like, I think badgering is better. Yeah, badgering's better. So he's like badgering me about like I'm not doing good, and also I'm not listening to my like head because she's like asking me to do stuff, and I'm doing it, but I'm like not responding to her. I'm like doing my own thing. It's like, or I'm not getting help, and I was like, dude, I don't have time. Like he's like, also, why are you not like putting weights in the spots if it's not like it's too heavy or whatever, blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, like I don't have time doing that. Like I'm literally taking up basically two people's job because at that point, again, I had a new head electrician. Like she just came out of fucking college essentially, so she was new, so she was fucking overwhelmed with bullshit, and because of that, she thinks she needs everybody's help. And she's trying to do everything at once, but not really factoring or focusing on one thing. So I'm knowing, because again, I'm like, the first few weeks are basically going to set up what your fucking like schedule is for working a tour. Because again, you'll have your set things to do, and you'll basically just do that the whole time on tour. So if you have to pick up new work, it kind of just throws off your kind of not really mood, but like kind of how do you fucking say it? It throws off your feng shui, I guess the best way to say it. It's not really the best way, but it throws off your rhythm. There you go. So because of that, if it added in, but yeah, I had certain things I needed to do. Like I for that tour, I needed to do like I didn't need to do deck lex. I had to also make sure the lights were hung in the balcony. I needed the balcony lights to be hung. I didn't do the what do you call it? I didn't focus the lights. Those are on like the house like people. But I just hung the lights in the positions they should be in. I also made sure data was being run to them and also they were powered on. And I also had to make sure the projector was run and also to focus the projector. And like I said, my job, and also I had to make sure everything came out of the trucks and then run the fucking motors. So I had a lot to do in the beginning sets, which is just make sure everything came out of the trucks. And then immediately after I'm done with that, I have to go like make sure the motors are hung. And the bad thing is, a lot of the times when I came out of the trucks and I was like ready to fucking hang the motors, the fucking electric, like the power wasn't on. And I'm like, hey, I need power. It was like, and I'm like waiting for. I was like, where's the power? It's like, oh, you should tell. Like you have to tell me when you're ready for power. I'm like, I shouldn't have to tell you that. I was like, power should be the first thing on. Like it's not even like it's elementary. It's something you should probably been taught. So I'm like telling her that, and then every day is basically the same bullshit of like whenever, because again we're setting up different places every day. So you should be learning. Hey, power should be the first thing on. I should, because the thing is, I think that's like one of the first things out of this truck anyway. So like she should be setting up power and making sure it's run by the time I'm out of this truck, so I can hang motors, so we can hang fucking truss out the air. But again, that was always a fucking thing. And then, like I said, like we had one interaction, right? This is why like me and her basically never really were friends. But I was on the balcony because I was setting up the lights, and I was about to go there. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go to the balcony and set up these lights. She's like, okay, cool. I'll send 2 people with you. I was like, cool. I'm gonna go start it up. Send them when you're ready. So I'm going up, starting to set up lights, right? She's calling me from the stage, and she's like, hey, can you send your guys down? And I'm like looking around, and I'm like, I don't have anybody. And she's like, oh, then can you come down to help us? And I'm like, excuse me. I was like, I've been setting up these lights for a bit. And I'm like, you want me to come downstairs? So I was like, I'm not gonna fucking have a fit. I went downstairs. She does not need help. She has literally every hand she could possibly have. I look at her, and she looks at me, and it seems working. And I go back up the fucking balcony. And I'm like, dude, why am I here? And then like our head cop looked and was like, "Where's your hands?" I was like, "I don't know." She said she was sending it to me. It's like, okay. And then I think like a few minutes later, she sent them, or he got her to send it. It's like it was always a fucking ordeal, and it was always like he was always looking at me. and was like, "You should get some help." And I was like, "I know that. I asked for help. I asked to get this help." But it's a bad thing of like when you have somebody that's new. Again, I would try to help you as much as possible. Like I'm trying to help her out and get things situated, which what I'm saying is not helping my case. It's not. But I'm trying my best to do what will get us quickly just done everything. And like I think the first few days I actually was like adhering to what she wanted me to do. But then because of that, we were like a lot of the time the projector wasn't even fucking out or wasn't working because again I didn't have time to fucking focus in and like focus it and make sure it was running, make sure it was powered, make sure it was set up because again I was doing it per her schedule. And after like we kept saying, "Hey, we need this fucking projector up." I was like, "Oh, cool. I'm going to take the projector. I'm gonna make sure it's set up. I'm gonna make sure it's run. Make sure it's fucking focused." Which means I can't listen to you. So literally, I would get the lights done. Oh no, I think the first thing I got done was like ask where the projector was supposed to be housed. Once I got the okay, I put it in the terrace supposed to be, and I went to go do like the balcony stuff because again, I just have to make sure it's run. I made sure I had like data and also everything was powered up for the projector. Everything was good, and then I basically did everything else I needed to do. And the last thing I did was focusing projector, which makes meaning making sure it's right, making sure it's working, making sure everything's powered and ran. If it wasn't really getting power, I'd have to like probably run an extra line to make sure it was getting power. But yeah, I had to do all this fucking things, which causes me to run around and do everything because I think the bad thing about like the assistants is for the most part, like again, it's different from everybody else. Like from what I've seen, like real like leads, I actually fucking lift shit, do their own work and do stuff, right? For a lot of leads, like they'll just delegate. Like I think she was also somebody that just delegated because I watched her be in the truck and not remotely like lift the thing, and I was like, why are you in the truck if you're not even fucking lifting shit? Because that's the thing. Like leads should not be in the truck. It should be assistants. Leads should create like a truck pack so that way you get everything kind of situated in the truck. You have a flow for everything, and that wasn't something we did because again, the leads should have that, but because they were making everything differently, it took us about 2 hours, I think, every night to like load that fucking truck, and that's not something we should do. And the the assistant stage manager, made base stage bot, which you may say, why didn't you make one? It was like I would probably have made one if it was just our shit, or if it was like our shit in the front and then their like the audio shit in the back. But it was mixed between everything, and also stuff was stacked on top of each other inside the truck, which is not something that's ideal or wanted ever. But that's how it worked because again, they were cheap and only wanted to have two trucks. When at best this was like a three truck show. Yeah, at best it was like a three truck show. But because of that, like everything had to be packed a certain way and look, and it was shit. It was a dangerous pack. I wouldn't want anybody in that truck. But because of that, we didn't really have like a truck pack, which I hope they actually made a truck pack when they were like gone. But it was just a shit fucking thing, and I couldn't deal with it. Like I was just like, I'm doing passive aggressiveness from our fucking head carp, which is very old, and he's doing dangerous fucking shit that can get him really like. The older you are, the less you heal, and he's just doing dangerous shit climbing the truck. And I'm looking at this old man who's probably in his 80s or 90s climbing this fucking truck. I was like, what is wrong with you? And you say, why didn't you just do it? Because I'm not trying to get hurt. I'm not getting paid enough to get fucking hurt in this tour. Also, I was already planning to leave. I was like, I'm not getting fucking hurt on this fucking tour. I'm trying to leave. So yeah, it was just shit. I'm sorry I didn't include that into a script because I was very much a long endeavor. But it was something that happened and I just thought about it. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna include it. Streaming has been my haven away from reality because I'm back to playing new games and also being a ton. I also decided to dive into the bowels of my Steam library. The reason for that is because I actually want to get games I haven't even looked at since I got them. The longer you have a game, the harder it is to actually get to it. As time passes, games get better and more titles come out, which is why it gets harder to visit the games in your backlog. So I went all the way down to when I created my Steam account in 2015, starting to play the games that seemed like it would interest me. Funny thing is that most of these games were either free or in a bundle, so they weren't games I actually wanted. But it's a good way to get through the games in my library and see if there are hidden gems I haven't neglected. That's the only negative thing is that I'll miss out on newer games, but I like getting through older games. I beat one game. That was a weird platform. But I say it is weird since it didn't have sound options. I would say that maybe that is because the game came out in 2012. The other game I started, that is a puzzle game, had sound options. Weirdly enough, the game without sound ran better. Also, the puzzle game lagged every time it loaded into a new section. Now listen, there is no load error problems, so don't blame my PC. I'll be cleaning any dust for my PC this weekend, since I kinda forgot to do that for a while. So the weather has been getting better. I've been biking. Not as much as I have before. That just means that I haven't been pushing myself with riding a bunch of miles. I've been trying to go on safer routes, which is funny since the time I got hit, I was on the sidewalk, and the other time I was using the crosswalk when I had the right of way. I would love to use the streets, but I tend to mainly use it when I know it is safe. I'll also use the street if the sidewalk just feels like shit to ride. I have rode on some uneven sidewalks. I said ride at certain points. If I rode on a normal bike, then I could just bunny hop over it. But with an e-bike, it's too bulky to do all that. Anyway, I know that I said I was going to review a game, but I have really no time to do all that. I was actually planning to do an off-the-cuff video. I wanted to see how far I could do with a script. After writing scripts for videos, I tend to like them more. Maybe because it's easier to edit since I know what will be said. There also won't be awkward ohs and like in anything I say. This is all around better. The only thing I lose out on, it sounds like I have emotions. I'm happy that Veilguard is done. But truthfully, I don't really know what RPG I would actually play next. Dark Line seems interesting from the things I read about it, but I haven't played it. So from the moment I'm writing this, Dark Line is in early access, and I actually own the game. The main reason I haven't tried early access, because there's only 2 races available to play. I also don't really care enough to limit test things when I barely have time to play another game at this point. I was planning to have a new character in BG3, play that during my free time, but sadly that hasn't happened. I'll just create the character and I haven't really explored past the first 2 areas. The best way to explain it is to talk about my week. I streamed for 7 hours, then ate after stream, then worked on the Veilguard video until I was ready to go to sleep. If it was a regular sized video, I'd be able to edit, then draw, then maybe game a bit depending on the time. I like my schedule, so I try to stick to them when I can. It's the first time, in a long time, that I actually had to edit past the Wednesday. I finished on Thursday, and finished a short script on said Thursday. I plan to proofread this tomorrow, then like usual, record the video on Saturday. I truly should do some grocery shopping. I may just save that till Sunday. My Saturday is somewhat busy, but not really. I wake up late as hell at 10:30 a.m. The login tastes are to do my dailies. I'll either play till I do everything I can, or until my dailies are done. I will usually also watch some YouTube videos while doing all of this, and kind of debate doing weights while all this is happening. Then around 1 p.m. I'll start recording. Once that is done, I hit the showers, and get ready to bike. I will usually do part of a set of weights before the shower, the last part of the first set once out. I'll bike a few miles, get food, come back, and disassociate for a few hours before finishing the other sets of lifting weights. Also game, since that's the only day I don't really edit, Saturday's schedule is always up in the air once I get back from biking. Sunday is the day I start editing and also do any fixes I need to do. The day I will clean up as well. Oh, I also practice my flute on Sunday as well. But yeah, I try to get everything that I can get done on Sunday for the day ends. This Sunday, I plan to get groceries, clean up my tower, practice drawing. Oh, Saturday I also write about 1,000 words for my backstory. I just started a few weeks ago and have about 10k words. I also have to start world building, because sub-races are a thing. Be hard to explain things without knowing the details of said things. So now the actual story is taking a backseat while I iron out the world. It's so interesting, because I haven't done world building since I was in college, but I feel like this is on a bigger scale. Anyway, I will actually do a review video next week, so stay tuned for that. My name is Oni Incubus, that is my time. Hope you have a great day and an amazing week. Later days. I love you all. Hope you all. I love you all. Saying kisses consensually. Mwah. Love you all. Bye. Bye. Love you all. Peace. Mwah. Bye. Bye. Alright. Love you all. Peace.